And Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakathon to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Ladam Bashim Yahshai, to all the sisters, all right? Um, Shalom, Israel, Lashawan Qadash. Once again, it's a lucky for the time. I know I'm a little late. Slavery got me caught up with these mandatory hours. That should be changing shortly, Lord allow. Shalaki, don't stone me to death. All right, but we are going to get into it. I get straight to it. Pretty much this week is going to be like last week, where we went over some precepts and breaking it down. All right, doing translations and also transliterations as well. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. All right. Also, too, shalom to everybody that's chiming in. Once again, to the sister, Kawhi, I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow about that name situation. All right, me and you're gonna talk. Okay. Otherwise, man, let's get to it. We are wasting some time. I want to get into a few things with y'all. All right, share the content, like, comment. If anybody has any questions about the topic or off topic, go ahead and put it in the chat, and we'll get to it. All right. All right. Now, some of these might not all, some of these most likely won't all consist of scriptures, okay? Some will, some will not. So if you notice that, I'm just giving you a heads up. So Genesis chapter 39, verse 6 is where we are going to break down, all right? Once again, some are the full scripture, some are just a part of the scripture, okay? Once again, you have translation and transliteration, all right? Right, all right, here we go. And once again, we're sticking to the Hebrew. If you choose to write down the Syrian, that's your choice. But just for time's sake, we are going to stick to the Paleo, all right? Every time you write some down in Hebrew, do not forget the connectors, all right? Or the characters. These are called characters, all right? It's very important. I'm going to get out y'all way in a second. All right. If you cannot see anything on the board closely, let me know if I need to write it out bigger or what. All right. All right. That's it. Let me know if it's too big, too small, if it's just right. I'll give y'all a little time. And as I give y'all some time, just want to let y'all know that in the future, I'm going to be coming out with a Lashawan Qadash series, right? Some of the stuff that you have seen or learned in Lashawan Qadash, I'm going to be behind the screen instead of actually showing, my face and demonstrating on the board. I'm going to be behind the screen pretty much and showing you in a digital way how to how to learn the basics of the Lashawan Qadash. And what I mean by that is the basics, like how to write out numbers, how to write, how to say it, pronounce it, the shapes, the colors, the whole alphabet, break it down, which each letter stands for, how Adam came up with the language. The very first day of Hebrew Academy, not Hebrew, I'm sorry, Lashawan Qadash, the very first day of Lashawan Qadash, we broke down the whole history of how the language was created, which was by Adam, of course. Okay, let me see. All right, give y'all a few more minutes here, or a minute or two. So yes, once again, look out for a series coming soon. And when the series does come out, I'm going to make a playlist so everybody can go to, so that way you don't have to search around for it. Okay. Also, too, if you want to know how to get the ancient Hebrew keyboard on your phone, let me know. It's very simple. Also, too, they have Lashawan Qadash, like ancient paleo flashcards as well that you can get on Amazon, which I will be getting for for my class. All right, it's a good tool. I would say if you have children, um, or even yourself, learn those flashcards. All right, because this is a good tool. Good to know your native tongue. Lashawan Qadash, and it's in the name, Holy Tongue. All right. All right, one more minute, and then we're going to get back to it. All right, so, all right, let me see. All right, this word right here, or this letter right here, and this is going to be I. And I is by itself, okay, as you see. So that's going to be A-H, all right, A-H. Then we have the wa, which is by itself, it is not connected to anything. That's going to be W-A. And then we have the ka and the la, which is connected together. All right. So you have the ka and the la. If it's connected and it's towards the end of the word, what's going to happen is that the A is going to drop off from the la. That's the rule of it in most cases. So K-A-L. All right. All right. I'm gonna get back to that word in a second. Okay. Let's keep it moving. And by the way, there's 4 words. All right. That's going to spell out a sentence based on Genesis 39:6. We have the H, which is by itself, H-A. We have the L by itself as well. All right, L-A. And then we have the K, the K and the M. All right, not the K, but the K. You gotta say it with your throat. All right, if you ain't saying it with your throat, you ain't saying it correctly. Okay, so you got the K and the M connected together. And the rule, once again, when something is connected towards the end of the word, something's going to drop off towards the end of the word in most cases. All right, it can change. So we are left with C-H-A-A-M. All right. Okay. Now, right here we have the and we have the sh and the r. All right. So the us by itself, A, H, and since something is connected towards the end of the word, the A would drop off in this sense with the ra, leaving it as a R by itself. So you got the S H A and then R. All right. The sh stays. The A drops off from the ra. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Once again, let me know if that's big enough, seeable enough. Okay. Then right here, you have the hub by itself, HA. You have the wa. And we have the by itself. Boom. 4 words. Okay. Some of these words you're probably wondering, what in the hell does this mean? I'm going to show you, break it down to you. All right, in 1 minute. Okay. So now, the correct way to pronounce this, right? And better yet, too, let me see some. Okay, later in the future, I'm going to start separating it a little bit more so you can pronounce it on your own. Okay? Just like how you learned in school, elementary school. Pretty much how to, or kindergarten, how to say certain words, how to pronounce it, how to have it spaced apart so you can take your time. Okay? And it does help for people who do not know how to pronounce it well enough. Some people are better with it than others. Okay? So, I will call. I will call. It sounds like I will call, but I will call you, right? So I will call. I will call. All right. That's how you say that. Halakam. 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 Ashar. Ashar. Hawa'ah. Hawa'ah. Now, I will call, right? What this means is to eat or ate. It means that you ate something or you ate it or eat it. Okay? To eat. All right. Halakam. First of all, looking at some of these words have root words. Lakam is a root word. Lakam is a word by itself. Ha is a word by itself. This is a prefix, okay? And this is a word by itself. So pay attention. We're doing this for example, right? What ha means is the or the. It means the or the, okay? Lakam, all right? Which you could just do something like that. Lakam means bread. All right. Okay. Now, anytime you hear somebody say something about showbread, you're going to hear the word lakam. And sometimes you are going to hear it and during Sabbath service, okay? Because, of course, the tradition of Sabbath service, you are supposed to have bread. Whether you bake the loaf of bread, otherwise you buy some bread. Okay, it's part of the setup for Sabbath service. If anyone did not know that, bread and wine. A lot of people, if you think about it, in the Christian church, or in the churches, that's what they use. They use the bread and they use the wine. Now, of course, they have the wicked spin on it, thinking that it's talking about Christ, saying to really drink his blood, the wine representing blood, and the bread as his body and things of that sort, right? No, okay. But as you see, at Sabbath service, we have wine and we have bread, all right? Also, too, it's traditional for any class, any service that we have in the Israelite school, UPK, it is traditional to bring food. It doesn't always have to be on a high holy day. Um, but yeah, a holy convocation is Sabbath service. It's a service, all right? So you feel me? Like, so there's a holy convocation every Saturday. Okay, every time that we do Sabbath service, that's a holy convocation. If you did not know, all right. Just to put that out there as some, some more information for you. Moving on. Ashar. Ashar can mean a few things, and I'll give it to you. So in most cases, it's going to mean who. What is it? I want to say it's who. I know it's definitely which. Who, which. And there's one more I'm missing. I want to say. Let me see. Oh yeah, happy. It can also mean happy as well. Okay. But based on the context, Ashar is going to mean which, based on the scripture. And there's something else too. One second. Bear with me real quick. I just saw it. Yeah, also too, Ashar can mean blessed in a way. Once again, just based on the context. Because we know that the word blessed, how you say that in Hebrew, is barak. Like, for example, this is barak, all right? Barak, okay? Which means blessed. I just seen it. Let me find this for you guys because I know there's one thing that, oh, yes, there we go. Otherwise, it could mean, yes, of course, happy, but I'm not going to put it on the board. Y'all can just put that in your notes. Otherwise, it can mean that. Okay? So, yes. And also, too, in the future, I want to get into more deeper how to explain, okay, based on when a word is set up, how it changes the whole meaning of something. Okay? Like, for example, halakam, right? Lakam by itself just means bread. But when you add the ha to lakam, the word changes. How so? Because now it's not just saying bread, but the bread. It's specifying it, right? Okay. Like for example, also too, you have the word ak, or you have the word akwat. But if you put a y, a, m on it, right? Yum, not yam, but yum. You feel me? Over there, right? So if you put yum after ak or akwat, it changes the meaning of the word. All right? It's going to, because yum is plural. Look at yum as what an S is in English. So instead of saying apple, right? You're saying, you put the yum on it, you're saying apples. So if you put yum by a lot of things, it's going to make it plural. So instead of brother, which is ak, you're saying brothers. Instead of sister, you're saying sisters. Okay? Moving on. Hawa'a. If anybody has paid attention to the previous classes for a few months or so, right? You've seen words that are similar. You've seen hawa'a. You've seen stuff like this, right? You got a word that's like that. You got a word that's like this. right? And then you have a word like this. Hawa, Haya'a, Haya. So just be mindful that some of these words look alike, but they do not mean the same thing. They all mean something different. All right, and I've mentioned this before in previous classes. Okay, if y'all want me to go over that, whenever, let me know. Anyway, Hawa'a, right? Hawa'a is he. Now, when it says he, right, it's not saying he like him in a sense, or he like this. When Hawa'a is like this, like when it's how can I say it? Hawa'a is bold like this, he. Because I did mention this before. I remember we had this conversation. For those that are watching, it's he. It's bold letters. When something is bold, it means something based on that word. Instead of saying, the like this, right? But you put it like the, where it's bold letters. Okay, it has a statement to it. That makes sense. All right, so this is everything. So in a nutshell, once you read Genesis chapter 39, verse 6, we will explain what this is talking about. Let's get the precept right now. And if anybody wants to read along, you can. Also, so let me put it on the screen real quick. Let me show y'all something. Okay. Yeah, I'll get the precept for you guys. So since no one else has to grab it, we can all see it together. Okay, here we go. All right. All right, give me a moment. All right, here it goes. Okay. So on the screen, and also too, by me reading this precept, make sure that you sisters who are watching, if you don't have a head wrap on right now, you can at least at this point put your hand over the crown of your head. Okay, put your hand over the crown of your head. All right. I'll give y'all a second to do that. All right, move forward. This is what it reads. Genesis chapter 39, verse 6. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had, save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a godly person and well favored. Right? So this precept, of course, is talking about, it's giving praise to Joseph. And Joseph, the one that was under Pharaoh in the in the time of the Egyptians, that captivity. Okay? And once again, let's read it again. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had, save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly man, so like a goodly person. I say godly, so like you, a goodly person and well favored. Well, of course, Joseph was a man of God for sure. So godly and goodly definitely, would be correct. Okay, now let's go back. Okay, 1 second here. All right, here we go. So based on that precept, right? What this is speaking about So, so when I said how I mean he, right, he is speaking about someone in particular. It's very specific, okay? And that he is going to be Joseph, right? So to make sense of this, he being Joseph, he so he um which ate the bread. It's that simple. Okay? That's what it is. Right? All right. He which ate the bread. Okay? And so really pretty much you can make a sentence out of anything. And that's why we are using the example of the precept right here. Genesis chapter 39, verse 6. All right? Let's keep it going. The next one, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit more time to actually, let's see, yeah, give y'all more time to actually write out the words. All right, this one's a little long, but it's worth it, right? So the next precept is going to be Psalms chapter 1, verse 1 through 6. Okay? Psalms chapter 1, verse 1 through 6. All right, I'm going to go ahead and write it out and give y'all time to write it on your own. So bear with me. Once again, let me know if that's big enough or not. Almost done here. Now, some of these words you will see, you will recognize. And that's really good to do so anyway, based on memory, to see if you remember that word. There's nothing wrong with using or seeing a series of the same words in like a scripture, or pretty much for my example in class, just so that you can get familiar with the word and the meaning behind it. And some of these words too are coming from the 50 vocab words that we did in the past. Where was I? Okay. Let me see. All right. And yeah. Okay. There you go. Lord allow that's big enough for you to see. Otherwise, everyone may begin to write it down. Give y'all a moment. And also, too, we are going to get the precept as well on the screen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. All right, let's see. And once again, if you have any questions or concerns, please ask them in the chat and we will get to them. And there will be more classes where we actually learn together how to look up certain words and how to break them down. Yeah, I'm gonna give you all 2 more minutes and we are going to figure out what is this whole, all these words speaking about. What does it mean? What is it saying? We're going to get into it shortly. All right. All right, time's up. Let me see. Yep. All right. Once again, everything is right to left, not left to right. Okay. When it comes to the Hebrew. So don't forget, when you see some of the same words, the definition can change based on the context of it. And I will show you what I'm speaking of. So right here, we have the first word. You got the ah, the sha, and the ra. Ah is AH, since it's by itself. You have the sha and the ra connected. What happens at the end of the word? Something drops off in most cases, but it can change, right? So the A drops off with the ra. So now you're left with SHAR, ashar. In this case, this is going to mean either happy or blessed. And let me write that B differently because I think, it's having a seizure over there. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. It's too off. Okay. No, it's too off, just don't sweat it. All right. No, it be like that though. Don't worry about it. But it's good that I said that on purpose because I always have to remind students why that's so important because sometimes it can get very confusing. All right, and this is why we have the purpose of the classes. Um, but don't sweat it. So ashar, either happy or blessed in the context. But when we read the scripture, you would know which one is which. The next word is ah or yeah ah yeah and then sha, right? So you have the which is ah. You have the ya and the sha connected together. What's going to happen? The a is going to drop off from the sha. So what are you left with? Y A S H. Ayash. Ayash. And also too, Ayash is you may have heard of a brother in the school by the name of Ayash, like Ayash Kabawad. Ayash, I believe there's a brother named Ayash Kabawar as well. Okay. Ayash is a very common word that you're going to hear in EPK, at least the meaning behind it. So, Ayash means man. In Hebrew. Okay. All right. If you wanted to, say, how can I say it? For example, there's not a word for husband or wife. So to replace that, you have a word like Ayash, meaning man. You feel me? Um, like for example, you could say Ayashia, my man. Now, like for women, we say things like rib, and I got it somewhere in my notes what rib is in Hebrew. All right, rib is like rib can replace wife. You know, and there's not actually really a word for man or woman necessarily either. That's why you use stuff like Ayash, rib, Shara, which is princess. Things like that. That's really what replaces all of that. So besides Ayash meaning man, it also means abundant or husband. Okay, that's what Ayash means. And I believe I described. I think we went over that before, not too long ago, if my memory serves me right. Okay, so the next word, you have the huh. You got the huh right here, which is by itself. It's going to be H-A, and then you have the L and the K connected together. The A is going to drop off with the K. So you left with L-A and then K. Halak. Halak is how you say that word. It's a very simple word, and that's what our vocab word is. Okay? Lakam, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was in the 50 words. How I and the Shar definitely was. Okay? Now, halak means walk, but in this sense, it's going to be that walk. Which one? Yeah. Halak means walk, or hawalak means to walk, things of that sort. All right? That walk, that walks. Okay? Now, next word. The I is by itself, right? The taza and the ha is connected. So you have the taza, but since that's connected, so like that looks like it's separated. right? Since it's connected, the A drops off with the H, so you're left with an H. Itazah. Itazah. Okay? What does Itazah mean? It means counsel. Now you want to understand. You have counsel. You have console, counsel. I mean, they all sound alike, but they're not the same. Okay. So give me 1 second. Let me see something. Yeah, but that's counsel, right? Give me a second here. Yep, that's the correct spelling. Just want to make sure. You got the R, the sh, and the I. The R is by itself, R-A. Okay? You got the sh and the I connected together. So, you got to understand this, right? You got to understand this logic. This is not going to cancel out, okay? This is not going to cancel out at all, right? If it was, what's the whole purpose of it being a part of the word? Now, I did say sometimes words will fall off or they won't. In this example, what's going to fall off is the A for sh instead of the I, which is only one letter, within that. So you're going to have S-H-I. Now, let's say that you decided to keep the A in there. You're not wrong. You're not really wrong. You feel me? Because what's very important is how to pronounce it. So based on how the characters are set up, it lets you know how it lets you know what it's talking about, what it says. Okay? If I never would have wrote these words in English for you, you probably wouldn't know how to say it correctly. But this is just to show you as an example on how to pronounce it and pretty much know what it's talking about. So if you put an A in there, that's fine. If you take an A out, you're fine. As long as you know that it says Rashai, okay? You can spell it 1,000 different ways, but just know that when you read the Hebrew, you got the R, the Sh, but these two are connected with the I, so it's going to be Rashai. All right, so I hope that helps, clears that up and helps some people understand that. You ain't got to be all the way politically correct when it comes to the English portion of it. All right, we're just breaking it down. That's it. Now back to the point. What does Rashai mean? It's not good. Okay, it's going to be ungodly. I believe that's how you spell ungodly. Okay, something like that. There you go. Yeah, I want to put an E by the Y, and in between the L and the Y, but it doesn't matter. Same thing. Ungodly. There you go. All right, that's what that means. If it's incorrect, no sweat. It's just English. We don't care about that. We focus on the Hebrew, which is the most important part of this. Okay. All right, 1 second. So now, since everything is right to left, come right right back here. Okay? And I'm going to show you that too in the precept. All right, so you have the I. And I know everybody has heard this word in class, every single class. Okay? Especially Sabbath service. You have the I, which is by itself, right? You have the ma and the duh connected together. Ma, duh, ma, duh. The A drops off with the duh, so you're left with M, A, D. Imad. This is how you spell Imad. Okay? Imad, right? And everyone should know what that word means. If you paid attention in class, when you hear the word, you know what to do immediately. When you hear Imajim or Imad, it means stand or to stand. Okay? Stand means to get up. The opposite of stand is going to be sit. What is sit in Hebrew? Yeshab means sit in Hebrew. Have a seat. Imad, stand. Or stand up. All right. You have the duh for next word. It's going to be D, A, and then you have the R and the K. All right. Which is going to be R, A, K. Darak. Darak. That's how you pronounce that word. And Darak, the A is going to drop off front for the K. Okay. Now, also too, how you look at words and how you write it out, it wouldn't make sense for the A to drop off for the R. So, for example, does this make sense? D-A-R-K-A. Dark, darker, dark. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't sound like a word. And that's also too, like, if you pronounce certain words and you're doing the studying yourself, you would know if that's incorrect or not based on how the word sounds. But you have to be careful because there are tongue twisters when it comes to words. All right? And trust me, I know myself. Let me change that real quick. Sometimes these words will have you tongue-tied. Okay? Alrighty, let's get it. The rock. What does the rock mean? Way or path. Way or path. Moving on. K. That's how you pronounce that. That's by itself. C-H-A-A. Now you have the T and the connected. What's going to happen? The H is going to drop off from the No, wait, hold on, slide. Actually, no. Well, yes, yeah, kind of, yes, that is correct, yes. So, like, for example, let's say that you wanted to keep the H there for whatever reason, right? It's still going to say the same thing. It's probably just not spelled correctly. But then again, who really gives a damn, right? What you want to focus on, once again, is this. Is how it's spelled. I mean, how to pronounce it. So, k, t. It's right there. So, k, t. Now, what does k, t mean? I'll give it to you. It means sinner. That's what k, t means. That's how you say sin or sinner. Okay? right? Sinner or sinners. That's what that word means. Kata, kata, kata. I keep saying kata. It's like a kata. All right. Kata is how you say sinner. Next word. You got the ya, the sha, and the ba. All right. The ya, the sha, and the ba. All right. So the ya is by itself, which is ya. The sha and ba is connected, so some drops off. It's going to be the a for the ba. So you're left with sh. Hold on. Yeah. shab. Yashab. Yashab. Okay. Yeah. Yashab. Now, what does Yashab mean? It's the opposite of stand. It means dwell, dwell, or sit. Sit. Okay? That's what it means. Let me change that up a little bit. Or sit. Okay? Yashab. Yashab definitely means sit, for sure. But dwell is the same thing. Um, Yashab, yeah, you know what I mean, is another way of saying, or Yashabya or Yashabya means everyone sits. Okay? Last word, the ma by itself, M-A, you got the wa, W-A, and then you have the sh and the ba connected together. It's going to be just like this, sha, right? Boom. Mawashab is how you say that or pronounce it. Mawashab. All right. And what does that word mean? Now, you see how shab is there, right? Yashab, sit, mawashab, it changes the anatomy of the word. And this is what it means. Assembly. Make sure you write these words down because some of these new words that you're now seeing, we will be using them in the future. And they're interesting to use and to know what they are. Because when I say it, I would expect you to know it. All right? 1 second. Hey, I'm in the class right now. I'll come back around like 9, 9:30. All right. So there we go. We got everything. So we have Ashar, Ayash, Halak, Aitazah, Rashai, Imad, Durak, Khatah, Yashab, Mawashab. Now, we know that these words, we know what they mean. Okay? Now let's get into the precept and put it all together. So here we go. Right here we have Psalms chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, not nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. All right, let me keep reading. Blessed is verse 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Okay, well that was more than one verse. So like it, verse 4. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Okay. Now we said all the way to verse 6, so let's do this. Verse 5. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. So now let's go back, right? So what we just read was pretty much the entire first verse of Psalms chapter 1, verse 1 through 6. It was good to read all of it because it's very short. That's pretty much like when you read the book of Psalms, that's like the introduction for, um, what's going to be talked about, what to expect when you read the entire book of Psalms, or at least some of it, I should say. Because there's a lot of stuff in the book of Psalms. You have actual songs, songs. Otherwise, you have prayers, prayers to the Lord, and then prayers on the destruction of our enemies as well. Okay, that's why Psalms 83 is very important. And then you have prayers for Israel, Psalms 121 that we read in class. If you did not know. All right, let's keep it moving real quick. We got a little bit of time, like 15 minutes. I want to get this hit this quick. So yes. So in a nutshell, I'm not going to write it out yet. Let me see. So yeah, so pretty much what's being said is that Joseph is a blessed man, right? He's the blessed man, that walks, you know what I mean? That walks, right? Of course, in righteousness. But what it's saying is that Joseph, being a blessed man, should not walk in the counsel of ungodly men. Okay? And that's all there. Also, too, how it talks about stand. Let me get that again. I don't forget it. Let me see. Right here. Nor standeth in the way of sinners. Okay? So don't stand in the way of sinners. In the way of sinner or sinners, same thing. Sit with the assembly, meaning sit with the assembly is the scorners. All right, the scornful. So that's pretty much what it's talking about when you read the actual precept. And if you notice too, one second, no, yep. And if you notice too, it gets straight to the point. I just added those words in there because with our language, we don't say sit down. We say yashab, which means sit. That's how Native Indians speak. They get straight to the point of what they're speaking of or trying to say. They don't have to use a lot of words like Esau does in his language. Okay, let's move on now. Let's get one more before we head out. Let me see. That's too long. Let me see. Okay, I'll do this one real quick. All right. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and erase this. Yeah, I just want to do this real quick. Standing up. If you did miss this, what you want to do is simply go back once the class is posted after, we end the live. All right. This is going to be Hosea chapter 1, verse 1. Hosea chapter 1, verse 1. All right. I got so many more, but this one I'm going to do real quick because it's short. The other ones are a lot longer. Oh, nope. Wrong thing. All right. Um, all right. And let me see. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna do this because of the space. This is the last word, but this is gonna be the beginning word. To be quite honest with you, it's gonna be the beginning word. The one that's down here is gonna be the beginning word. All right. All right. So that's it. I'll give y'all a shorter time so we get through this by the time it hits 9 p.m. Hosea chapter 1, verse 1. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, for those that's watching, if you want to wait, um, if you want me to go over it real quick, we can. We can go over it together. Otherwise, I'm still gonna give y'all a minute or so. Okay, just real quick. We don't have a whole lot of time. And Salakia once again for the lack of time. If this does happen again, I will try to put some more, some more stuff on the board for us. Because I mean, we are supposed to go over a lot more, but because of mandatory overtime and our oppressor being the devil that the Bible speaks of. You feel me? Yeah, we're not going over it too much. That's right. Yep, that's right, Sus. That's correct. So yes, let's get into it. All right. Ha or ha, the by itself, the ba and the ra together. The a drops off. The ra. It's going to be B-A-R. Ha the bar. Ha the bar. Okay. Now this is the first word. First word. This right here. Let me see. Yep. Yep. That's right. Yep. The Most High. Yahweh. Okay. Got the ya, the ha by itself, the wa and the ha connected. All right. You got the by itself, A-H. Then you have the sh and the ra, which is shar, because the A drops off with the ra. A-R. A shar. Then we have the ha, right? Let me see. Yep, hey, sis, you're on fire. You got the ha, which is by itself. You got the ya and the ha connected together. That gives you the Y-A-H. Ya, which is one of the words I just spoke about too, by the way. Then we have and love connected together. Now, two things are going to happen. The A and the H are going to drop off. So you are left with A-L, ow. Like when you say the female greeting, no, actually, that's for something else. Never mind. Scratch what I just said. All right, you got the hub by itself. You got the wa by itself. You got the sh and the I. The SH by itself and I connected together. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words in that order. Okay? All right. Now, hadabar. You have a prefix and a root word. The prefix of ha, of course, is, as we know, of course, it means the, right? It means the, but together, and the bar means, it can mean word, of course, word, speak, or say. Okay? All right, so we know who Yahweh is. That is the Most High, or Lord, Lord's name. And the reason why, I mean, more than anything, only in teaching moments, we will use the Lord's name. And otherwise, in prayer and saluting each other, we will use the Most High's name. Okay? That's why a lot of times what you want to say is the Most High, or our God, our power. That's what you want to say a lot. Or Elohim, in a sense, Elohaya. And the reason being is because we don't want to use the Most High's name in vain. Okay? All right? We do not want to do that. Let's use his name for a purpose, and let that purpose be the right purpose. Selected. All right, Ashar. Ashar, in this sense, is gonna be a witch. All right, which? Haya. Haya is going to be unto. Hold on. I'm sorry, not unto. Haya is come or happen. So, come or happen. Okay? Now, al means unto, to as well, or into. Very similar. Okay? That's what that means. How was shy? It should be very obvious. Hosea. How was shy? How was shy is Hosea. Okay? All right? So there you go. And then let's get into the scripture real quick. So yeah, so you have Hadabar, the Most High, I'm just say that for now. Ashar, which Haya, come or happen. Al is unto, to or into. Hawashai is Hosea. Okay? All right, now let's get the precept. Boom. Hosea chapter 1, verse 1. The word of the Lord that came unto Hosea, the son of Berai, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ohaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel. So a lot of times when there's a first chapter of a prophet and priest, what it's given is it's giving the pedigree. It's giving you somewhat of an introduction. Well, yes, a introduction to that person, where they're from. It's giving you the registry, so to speak, which it just did right here. Just like when you go into Matthew, the first chapter, it's the same thing with Christ. All right. When you look at the book of, I want to say Ezekiel, Isaiah, Jeremiah. Let me see who else. You know, it's many more books that are named after brothers. Okay. And so that's the point, the purpose of that. So let me stop that real quick. Oh, here we go. We're back. So yeah, that's really the purpose of that. So yeah. So Salaki, once again, we are going to get more, stuff to do on the board. Go over a whole lot in the future. Just bear with me for a second. Trying to tie up, some loose ends when it comes to, Esau's world and slavery and things of that sort. All right, but otherwise, I'm still dedicated to making this class for y'all. I want to say the water to everybody that tuned in. Also, too, for Shalom. Yahweh Shemar Shabrak to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar. Alatham Bashim Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. All right. With that being said, catch us tomorrow with Sabbath service. Shalom. All right.
ISUPK 53rd Annual Lord's Passover.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the ISUPK down in Florida. I'm Captain of 10,000 Shamoy Yalo. We here to let you know 53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida. It's going down in South Florida, Cocoa Beach.
Friday, April 15th, 2022.
The lamb, the wine, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, you understand? Good music, good weather, the palm trees, the whole nine.
This is going to be glorious. Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
April 15th and the 16th. Don't just book for the 15th. Book for the 15th and the 16th.
It's going down Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
Moses told Pharaoh we need 3 days to be able to go out into the wilderness and serve our power the way he commands. You're going to have to get that off with your boss, with your slave master. So make sure you in the building. Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 15th to 16th, 2022 is going down. We'll see y'all there. Shalom.
Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 140.